Well, welcome back everybody to Railroads Online. Since the last video I've made a couple of small changes to the track. As I said I was going to do, I've put a little reversing loop in between the sawmill and the lumber mill, and I've put another reversing loop in that goes down to the warehouse. So that's all I've changed. If you want to see how I did that, there is a 1.5 episode either on the channel now or will be on the channel showing the basic building process. But this will be a quick video. We're going to head up to the lumber mill where I have a few extra cars parked up. We're going to see if we can fit a whole line of 10 cars in this loading bay. We might not be able to. I might have to at some point extend that little bumper so we can fit the extra car in, because 10 might be pushing it. And then we'll see whether or not Betsy, the little tiny porter, will be able to pull 10 empty cars all the way up this 2% grade after having done a run of logs. It'll get it down a 2% grade, no trouble whatsoever, I'm sure of that, but we'll see whether or not we can get back up again afterwards. So there we go. Let's have a little look at Betsy. You can't really see that very well because the map's in the way, but let's have a little look down here. Firebox, if you open that up, we've got some fire. 5 out of 50 I can see on the other screen on Railroads Online. So let's pop a little bit of a bit more fuel in there so she stays burning as we go along. And as you see, the wood in this little tender area has started up at the top by the window and has been working its way down as I've been playing the game. So the next thing we do after we've done this run is we're going to have to set up a firewood area and get some cordwood cars. But for now, let's get ourselves up to the logging camp and we will see about loading up getting the rest of the cars on the end of the train. So the reverse is set forwards and I'm turning on the regulator, so away she goes. Now we're just about to approach the wall section, which is where it gets at its steepest, and so Betsy will be pushing up a 2 to 2.5% grade from this wall here, which is absolutely fine and no trouble whatsoever when you're only pulling 4 little cars. But we'll see how it happens the next time round when there's 10 on there. Alright, now I'm apply the brakes. It takes a little bit of a moment for the brakes to take effect, because as the brakes are obviously at the other end of the train and there's slack in the couplings, you find that each individual car needs to apply its brakes, or needs to take up all the coupler slack before the brakes at the other end have actually started to slow it down. So you've got to predict the braking quite a long way in advance. Now we've got a great long consist attached to this train. I'm just going to go through on Railroads Online and check that all of the brakes are switched off. Now there's one that's on, and there's one that's on at the other end. So I've just turned all the brakes off of the cars. Now we have got a full train of 10 log cars, or skeleton cars I think they're called. So we're going to just see if we can't reverse that train into the lumberyard. Yeah, you apply the brakes at the front and then all the cars start to bunch up on the back. Right, you can't see it quite, you can just about see it in the corner there. I'm going to flip the switch so that we head back into the loading area. Okay, so it would appear that this track's not quite long enough. So we bump it all the way right to the back. Then it needs quite a bit of regulator to get moving. There we go. Push it all the way to the back of the bumper. It should just stop there quite happily. There you go, and then the rest of the cars will walk onto Tina up. How much further does it need to go? We've got about a car and a half's worth of, well, no, about one whole car. If we can bring this back, this bit of track back by one whole car length, then we will get a full 10 cars on the loading dock. So at the moment we're just going to load up 9 and see what happens. Okay, well, as you saw, you might have seen the train going back and forth a couple of times. The bigger, more heavy train is a lot more difficult to predict exactly where it's going to stop when you apply the brakes, so it's a bit more difficult to get it lined up exactly right on these loading things. But the train's managing just fine to shift it around, so let's see if we can get Betsy to load us down to the sawmill. Yeah, so she's on about 50% regulated to get moving, which is pretty good given that it's 9 full cars of logs. Let's see what these logs actually weigh. If you change my back to first person view, it should actually tell me how much. Yeah, 5 tons. So we've got 45 tons of logs on here right now. Oh, it's not all that easy. There we go. Let's get on top of there. Right, let's go right down to the sawmill. Oh, we're getting a bit of a runaway speed going on here. Up to 17.6 miles per hour. Got the brakes on about 70% right now to stop it getting too fast. It's under control now. Okay, so now the question is whether or not Betsy can pull 10 empty stake cars all the way up the hill to the lumberyard. Let's find out. Current speed through this mostly flat area is about 9 miles an hour and 17%, so let's see how it goes up there. There you go. I was able to just about manage to make 14 miles an hour up the hill at full blast. The 10's about the limit for Betsy, and we'll get this loading area changed slightly so that Betsy can fit 10 full cars in the loading. And that'll be about it for now. Catch you on the next one.